This is Steve Breaker's garden in Backus, Minnesota. Today's date is June 26, 2018. The time right now is 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It's a cloudy day, so it's a good day to do a video. And this garden initially was 25 by 25. We just added another 8 feet to it on the one side. This garden when I get in the garden, I'll tell you which is north, south, east, and west. We got the one door going in. I do have cuts in the fence where I can open up the fence, wire it back up so I can get in with the wheelbarrows and do things like that. So we're going to go and take a look at everything here and see how things are going. We do have a previous video that shows the beds that were dug out, the poly put in, but nothing was in it yet. I think just water. There was nothing else in it. Now we've got the bags in using Larry Hall's grow bag system and his potting mix, which is commonore and a lot of peat moss, perlite, and a little fertilizer, and lots of lime, and we put in some Epsom salts. So we mix that all up in a wheelbarrow and put it in bags. I don't know how many wheelbarrows full I've done. I think I've got a total of close to maybe 50 or 60 bags done up. Probably a couple more to do yet. So anyway, let's take a look. We're going to walk into the garden now and take a look at everything. First of all, I got to show you that I got this at a nursery. Buy one, take as many as you want. I don't know how they could do it. They're probably just getting rid of stuff, but I got to put all this in stuff, grow this yet. Flowers, I know where I'm going to put them, kind of throughout the garden. But look at, I got red cabbage, regular broccoli, lots of that stuff, and eggplant. I have an idea where I'm going to put it all. It's I don't know what I'm going to do with it all when it grows. Probably give a lot of this stuff away. And we're going to go inside and take a look at my strawberry bed. We've had a good crop of strawberries this year, and it's doing quite well. As you can see, I've got a nice 6-foot tall fence. The deer never get in here. In the morning, sometimes when we get up, take a look out the window, you can see the deer crowded around this green oasis in the middle of summer because it's always watered. And I'll explain all this when I get in here and show you how it's working. But it's really a neat system. You can see I've got a hose hook up here, and I've got everything all coming from a sand point. So it's all no city water, all comes from a sand point that was put in years ago. So everything is all grandfathered in. I'm not breaking any laws, everything is all done right. And here's my sand point. And so I get all the water I want. And I've got this whole system set up on floats, so I never have to turn on the water. The water is always turned on, and the floats adjust the water level so that everything gets watered. The plants can drink as much water as they want, yet they aren't going to drown. Now I do have a couple of raised beds that are not on this system. All my beans are in this raised bed. I am putting some beans in one of the grow bags. So this raised bed is all the purple beans. When you cook them, they turn green. It's just so you can see them when you pick them. And these actually produce better than the green beans and the yellow beans. They produce quite well all summer. We're going to walk over and we're going to take a look at the carrot raised bed. It's another raised bed that we've got just carrots growing. And for some odd reason I put in 6 rows of carrots. Why I got so many carrots? Well, I guess I like carrots. So we get lots of carrots here. Now, we're going to take a look at the last bed. I dug out about 4 or 5 inches of dirt, put down 6 mil poly, and I've got a float system put in there, and it's all fed by a quarter inch connection from the hose to the quarter inch tubing, and the quarter inch tubing goes right in and fills up the this little pond-like thing that the poly keeps it in. So there's about maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches of water in here that float right here with a rock on it. Always keeps it right at that perfect level. Now when you get a heavy rain, I've got a drain off in there that will drain off any excess water, otherwise things will drown if it gets too high. So I've got that right here, as you can see. That's where the tubing goes to the float. It's also a drain off. It will drain off into the sides of the bed here. And now, what I've got in this bed is 1 yellow tomato plant. They're hard to find. I guess they're around, but there some places just don't have them. And I've got 2 zucchini plants here. So I'm going to have all kinds of zucchini growing. Some are already blossomed, as you can see. And I've got 1 big pumpkin plant growing here. I have lots of pumpkins. I think I'll probably get it down to maybe 2 or 3 pumpkins. Nip off the other ones. And then over here in this corner I've got a spaghetti squash. And I plan on letting that climb up the fence and taking this extra roll of fence here and rolling it out so the deer can't get to it and chew it off, because they will do that. So I have plenty of room in this bed for more bags to put in. I do have, this bag here is turnips, and they are already coming up. They're starting to come up already. And then these 2 bags here, this bag here and this bag here, both have kohlrabi. So I'll need to thin those out and probably plant those over in this other raised bed over here, which is another raised bed with my rhubarb growing. And here we planted some potatoes. Now if they don't come up, I have plenty of stuff to throw in here. I do have an open spot here, about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet, where I can probably throw in some flowers or something in here. I don't know what. Maybe throw some in this dirt over here. What I did with this bed is I put in some of my potting mix and with the dirt and tilled it in, so this stuff should grow pretty good. So that's what I have in this bed with the water. And so these plants, you never have to feed them, you never have to weed them, you never have to water them. They will grow on their own, and they will grow, I tell people, twice as fast. They grow twice as big, and I don't even know what the production is on these. I think it's pretty high. I'm guessing probably about 3 times higher than normal. So we'll see once this year when these start producing what we're getting out of it. Now we're going to go over and take a look at these 2 beds. This one is the one that I've really started out early. This one I think I started around May 30th. And again, you can see the water. There's about maybe 1 inch of water in there, as you can see. And this one is a large watermelon plant. And these 2 here with these wire fencing built up, they can climb right up this fence, and you just pick your cucumbers. These 2 are cucumbers. These are the burpless, long, thin cucumbers. And then I've got these huge tomato plants. These are just tiny little tomato plants when I got them. They're really taken off. So you can see how tall they're getting. It's unbelievable how fast they're growing. I guess they get all the water they want, so they're going to grow faster and taller. And I'll get over and show you my green pepper plants here in a minute. But these tomato plants are just taking off. This one over here is a tall... I can't believe how much this thing has grown since I put it in. But this tomato plant is the small yellow pear tomatoes, so I'm going to have lots of those coming here. I do have to cut off some suckers. And I've got a cabbage growing out down here and another cabbage over on that side. I'll show you in just a little bit what's going on there. Now, these are, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 cucumber plants here. And of course this one is climbing up this fence, and that one, and that one. And so what I've got set up here in this bed with the water, as you can see, these are in what they call grow bags. These grow bags have that special potting mix that I mixed up, and these are 7-gallon grow bags. So they got plenty of room to grow. What I plan on doing is putting some long, slow release fertilizer on the soil around each plant, and putting my wood chips on top of that. It just keeps, just keeps the dirt from hitting the leaves and creating, especially on cucumbers, you can get these fungus growing. It's already sprayed everything in this whole garden, including the strawberry bed, with copper sulfate solution, which is a diluted solution of copper sulfate, and that kills off funguses. You can see with this red tomato plant, I already have some tomatoes coming on here. You can see that one right there. So we're having tomatoes here pretty soon. And so that's this bed. I'm going to take a back shot here so you can see how long that bed is. It's about 10 feet long and about 3 feet 9 inches wide. That whole bed, 10 feet long, 3 feet 9 inches wide. Let's see if I can get a better shot of this sitting down and take a look at it. Okay, I'm out as far as I can go with this. So Larry Hall, if you see this, you can see how your things are growing. They're growing just incredibly good. And I followed your instructions exactly the way you told me to do it. So if you want to go to, just go online, just type in Grow Bag Systems. You find his website, and go to the website, order, and plan on doing. You could even start this year yet. This stuff will grow so fast. You can start it late in the summer and still get a complete growth of everything. So I got more pepper plants growing here, and I've got more cucumber plants. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these cucumbers, but lots of cucumber plants. I started a lot of these by seed, and they came up. Now, believe it or not, these tomato plants are the smaller early tomato plants. These are the larger beef, I don't know what they call them, tomato plants. These are supposed to be the real big ones, so these are still small yet, but they're growing real fast. So I'm going to put 3 more cages around these tomato plants, and then of course another darn cucumber plant, 2 of them. And then these bags here all have beets in them. The beets are just starting to come up. You can see they're just starting to come up a little bit. You can see them there. Just showing. Might have to thin out some of these beets, because these things are going to really grow. Alright, so I got room here to, that's algae growing on top of the water. It doesn't hurt anything. The one thing that seems to kill it off is the copper sulfate. For some odd reason it seems to kill off that algae pretty good, so I probably have to put some more of that on here. As you can see, I've got all kinds of frogs here. They really like this water. It's so darn many frogs, I don't know what to do with them all. And so this is what this bed looks like. I figure I got room for about maybe 7 more 7-gallon bags to put in here. And that's where I'm going to put all those cabbage and let's see, broccoli, cabbage and broccoli and eggplant. Now this is my strawberry bed, and that's pretty much done for a while. There's everbearing and June strawberries in here. So the everbearing produces all summer, even right up until it freezes. So that's the kind of strawberries you want to put in as everbearing. I mixed in a little bit of the June strawberries and the everbearing. This bed is about 22 feet long, 3.3 feet 9 inches wide, and I use a soaker hose to wet these down to keep them watered. So they're doing quite well. You always want to throw a little bit of cow manure in with your strawberries, and then about every, I don't know, 5 years you want to go in there and just go right down the middle with a little tiller and just till them up and mow them down, and they'll grow even faster. They like that, being rough with them, for some odd reason. So again, as far as how I feed this blue hose will be coming out of here, and I'll be running a 1/4 inch hose over from the bed over there over to these 2 beds here to feed these 2 beds, and take this hose out of here, because this hose is leaking a little bit. I don't like that. It leaks into this bed, so I'm not wasting any water, but I just don't like leaks coming in here. And so there's a black hose that comes, 1/4 inch hose that goes into this, if you can see it here, comes into that float, keeps this bed right up to where it should be, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches up. And this one here has a T in it, and that T goes down to this float, which is down at this end, and you can see the float right there. Well, that comes in, and again there's a drain off there, so when you get heavy rain, this all drains off, never gets flooded. That really is important, because last year I had some of these tomato plants growing in a kiddie pool, and I didn't drill the holes in it to drain it off, and we had a couple of heavy duty rains and it drowned out the plants real bad. So that's pretty much the gist of it all. Next year, all the dirt that I dug off these beds I put over on this side here. This is the north end. So the strawberry bed is right here, and if you look straight out this way from the strawberry bed, this is north. And north, I'm going to put another raised bed in there that's going to be all raspberries. I'm going to probably cut this ash tree down so it gets the sunlight, and then I'll extend the fence around that so the deer don't get to them. I don't think the deer bother raspberry plants, from what I understand. So I may not even put a fence around that. But put my raspberries over there. Nothing in the back. I just got so if that's north, this is east, and on the east side, of course, I got my wheelbarrow against the fence, and then I got a rhubarb growing there, which went to seed. Of course, my satellite dish, and then we've got a one of those rope lights that go around that's solar powered, so when it gets dark out, that lights up at night, and it's a neat little thing. I'm going to probably put some solar lights in here by the bed so you can see where you're going. I do have a motion light in here. I haven't used it yet, but I've got it set up where I can put it up on and turn the motion light will come on and light up things here. If you want to be out here at night by the mosquitoes, I don't really care to be out here by mosquitoes, but maybe somebody wants to take a look at things. So this is the whole garden here. I'll get an angle shot from one corner so we can see the whole garden here. We're trying to get this. This is about 20 feet long, this bed here, the water, and 3 feet 9 inches wide. Then I've got 2 small raised beds here. This will be the beans and the carrots up there. And then I've got a raised bed over here. It's got the rhubarb, and I got potatoes in there and some radishes. If the potatoes don't come up, I'll put something else in there. We have plenty of stuff to plant yet. And then of course this other bed, which is water, filled with water. And as long as the water keeps about 1.5 inches from the bottom of the bags, the roots can drink as much water as they want. You're not drowning anything, and yet they grow real fast and real tall, and production is great. A little bit of fertilizer in there. I'm not over fertilizing. I do have a cow manure in with my potting mix, and I do have peat moss in with it. Over in this corner over here, I put in a bunch of sunflowers in the corner over here. I threw a lot of the dirt out of the beds here over in the corner, and I've got room over here. There's nothing in over here by the fence, and that's where all my Hubbard squash are going to grow. That's where they're all going to, I'm going to train them all to go down this way and crawl around here so the deer don't get them and eat the vines. And so then in the corner over here I've got some irises and different flowers growing. I'll get over closer over here. So I think over time, I'll throw a few flowers in here and there, perennial type stuff that comes up each year. And of course these irises come up on their own each year. So this is the spot where all fenced in. We just did this year, this spot here. These are all brand new posts we put in. And of course these are all the sunflowers coming up here. So next time we show this will be full of sunflowers growing here. And these are the Hubbards that are going to climb out this way. Climb out this way. In through here. In this bed here. And then we've got a lot of irises that are just growing wild in here. Yeah, but I'll probably put some other flowers down here. I don't know what yet, but I'll figure something out. And this has a lot of potting mix from the stuff I had from before, so this is good soil here. And I may just plant something in here. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do, but I got plenty of stuff to throw in the ground yet. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. I got plenty of stuff growing here. And this is my little John Deere tiller. TC2. It's a John Deere tiller. That works nice. And so that's pretty much the set. So we will show you what things are doing here in about another maybe 3 weeks. Let's give it 3 weeks to kind of grow here.